All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, podcast, episode 51. Today on the show, Lizzo defiles a piece of American history in this week's housekeeping. A lady is held hostage by her husband, who is now transgender. A guy said the N-word by accident, which proves systematic racism in this week's Cringe of the Week. And last but not least, petty crimes are forcing civilians to take matters into their own hands. We're going to talk to one of those civilians who was accused of being racist. We're going to hear his side of the story. All this and more. It's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 51, ranked the best new podcast of all time. Of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, featuring Richard Bradboy. All right, before we get into the show, today's episode is brought to you by Public Square, the Public Square app. Guys, are you looking for businesses that share your best interest? Are you tired of seeing corporations sell us out and not do America First things? Well, we have a solution. The Public Square app is an app that's available on Google Play or the App Store, and it's basically a Rolodex database of all America First patriotic companies. You can download it for free. You can upload your own business there for free and get featured in the database. You open the app and you can see all businesses in your area and nationwide that are patriotic and America First. You want to go to a coffee shop that doesn't make you show a vaccine passport or doesn't make people wear masks? Public Square app can help you solve that problem. Download it today, the Public SQ app. It's in Google Play and the App Store. Get it today. It's absolutely free and it goes a long way. It helps you be more deliberate with your dollar so we can start promoting companies that share our America First values. Download the app today, the Public Square app. They're sponsors of the show. They support us. Let's support them right back. Let's get into housekeeping. All right, so we are into housekeeping. We have a very good episode today. I am not just saying this. This is probably one of the best episodes we've ever prepared.
All right.
I'm not just saying that.
Set us up.
There is a new thing causing blood clots, guys. What's the headline?
It says, warning, woman who ate the same fruit daily almost lost her leg from dangerous blood clot.
So this is a new development. The fruit was grapefruit. So if you guys are eating grapefruit every day, it can cause blood clots starting now. So the fruit you've been eating every day for who knows how long, starting now, for some reason, is causing blood clots.
Yeah.
You got to be careful out there.
No explanation there why 2021 started the great grapefruit pandemic.
The fruit you've been eating every day, it's like almost like a weird headline. The fruit you've been eating every day is causing blood clots. It's like, well, starting now, like what happened?
It's weird. How long?
I don't know. So let's not get scared. Moving on. NASA just released new
That
images.
list is getting long.
It's getting real long.
It's getting disgusting. And I think a bunch of them are trying, these journalists are using them in a vacuum. They haven't done the research that we have, looking for where the clots are coming from. And so they're just sending off their missions and...
You're going to look real stupid when every single thing in the world, except the one thing that you forced us to get,
causes blood clots.
Absolutely. Didn't force me to get it. Oh, right. Moving on. NASA just released new images, not photos, images of Neptune's rings and moons. Wow, look at that.
Not photos, images?
They're images, not photos. There's a difference. They're images.
Do you know the difference?
Photo would be you took a photo of it. Image is you had some intern do some cool Photoshop.
Okay.
So, wow, very cool. What a cool image, NASA. Wow, that's Neptune's rings. Wow, what a cool Photoshop.
Sounds made up to me.
Sounds made up, yeah. Me too. Are you denying space?
A little bit. And I was thinking about this before the show. I don't care about space. It's like, I don't know how to work a saw, like a sawmill or something. I can learn that before I go to space.
Yeah.
No
space.
reason.
If you go to space, you're going to need your swim trunks. All right, moving on.
Are you going to talk about NASA hitting the asteroid? They did a bumper car into an asteroid.
Oh, yeah. They did something where they sent a space shuttle thing into an asteroid as a bumper car situation.
It's like an Armageddon prep situation.
To knock the asteroid off course so it doesn't go into us. Whoa, yeah. NASA, you're busy. Good thing you have all those billions of dollars. You guys spend how many billions a day over at NASA. Moving on. All for what? To get some, who do you hire? Do you have qualified to work at NASA? I was like, do you know how to work Photoshop? If you can work Photoshop, we can hire you at NASA.
It's very interesting that they said images specifically.
The NASA resumes they received to work there, it's like, are you proficient in Photoshop? It's like, what? What?
Right, you're getting crazy.
I'm getting a little crazy. All right. We have a very new thing that's coming around. Obviously, we told everyone about hot honey on pizza. We were right about that. That's still making its rounds. We told you guys about that like a year ago. There's a new thing that people are doing. It's the butter board. This is the next new thing. You have some butter, and you add some assets to it.
Yeah.
Some flavors, and then you get some bread, and you run it through it. And that is good.
Yeah. You want me to play it or just roll in the
play
background?
it just as long as you see it in the background. It's like a new way to pig.
Yeah.
Just put butter all over the thing, add some honey or some nuts or whatever.
Some type of sriracha type thing, whatever
you want, and you run the bread through it. It's a good way to live. Butter is good for you. That's the red pill. Next, hurricane. The hurricane, as we're recording now, is currently hammering Florida.
Yep.
Very bad. Obviously, we hope everyone's okay. We're never going to wish anyone any harm. Hopefully, everyone's safe. I hope it does 0 damage. That being said...
Full stop. Full stop, that being said. Where are you going with this?
That being said, if we were to move out of St. Pete and Tampa like we did to New Orleans a couple weeks ago, and then a catastrophic hurricane comes and say, for example, the house we used to live in gets swept away, that would basically prove that like I'm some sort of clairvoyant.
Yeah. Do you want to elaborate on that? You have a history of this or what?
Here's what I'm thinking. And I don't want any harm done to Florida. I want there to be 0 damage. But if our old house gets swept away, the odds of me being right about them making Chris Pine a lady go way up.
Okay.
Is that not like a catalyst?
Yeah, your predictive ability is proven.
My predictive ability would be turned up. So that's what I'm saying. Nothing too crazy. We hope everyone's okay. Don Lemon tried to make it political. Check out this video with Don Lemon. He was talking about climate change to some hurricane guy who really wasn't having it.
Can you tell us what this is and what effect the climate change has on this phenomenon?
Well, we can come back and talk about climate change at a later time. I want to focus on the here and now. We think the rapid intensification is probably almost done. There could be a little bit more intensification as it's still over the warm waters of the eastern Gulf of Mexico, but I don't think we're going to get any more rapid intensification.
So listen, I'm just trying to get that. You said you want to talk about climate change, but what effect does climate change have on this phenomenon that is happening now? Because it seems these storms are intensifying. That's the question here.
I don't think you can link climate change to any one event. Okay. On the whole, on the cumulative, climate change may be making storms worse, but to link it to any one event, I would caution against that.
Okay. Well, listen, I grew up there, and these storms are intensifying. Something is causing them to intensify. So this storm is it's a massive one. Its effects are also being felt in the southern part of Florida.
So... interesting. So that's pretty crazy. Don Lemon said he grew up in that area, and the storms have gotten more intense over the last 20 years.
Yeah,
because of climate change. So
tight timeline.
Yeah, it's a very tight timeline. I don't know what to do to fix this. We have to elect AOC and give our money away.
We have to tax everybody way more, and then let that money be funneled through like some sort of weird crony capitalism system where like everybody's cousin who runs an electric vehicle company gets a free handout. I think that's probably the best way to stop the hurricanes and change the weather.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're going to say, look at this hurricane. The Republicans don't care. You saw the damage it did. Don't you want to fix it?
Yeah.
Do you think climate change caused the hurricane?
The what?
I've been doing the bit on Rat Boy where I do the words that are one letter off. So it's like, oh, you think this hurricane's going to be pretty bad? Or like, oh, did you watch the Jeps game? Are you a Jeps fan or a Giants fan?
Guys, and it's really... it's great. He makes me laugh every time. It's like a new thing.
It's a good bit. I did the Chinese Donut Boy too. He's my brother, and we're both from New York. So I was like, "Are you a Jets fan or a Giants fan?" And he's like, "The Jets." I'm like, "Oh, you like the Jets?"
I call these
it's like for nothing.
Yeah, I call these waste your time bits because it just sucks up time. It's like eating the clock. It's like dribbling.
That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to something more pleasant. Fan of the show. Huge announcement here. Got on the Walmart loudspeakers, I guess where he worked, and did a plug for the podcast. Check this out.
There you go. Attention Walmart customers, if you haven't already, please like, and subscribe to the Fleccas Talks podcast. Ranked #1 best new podcast of all time. Thank you, and have a base day.
Now that is not bad.
That's a bounty. That's a scout.
That's a bounty paid. He got a massive care package. He got sweatshirt, Clinton shirt, base mug, and I think one other shirt too. So we're very grateful for that. If you get fired from your job, we have to kind of hire him.
No. You took that risk yourself. I'm sorry.
You took that risk yourself. It was a good risk. Walmart's not going to fire you. Everything's fine. Thank you for doing that. Care package is on the way. Base mug is inbound. Moving on. It's a very long housekeeping. We're almost done. It is very worth it. You know the press secretary, Jean-Pierre?
Yeah.
Karine Jean-Pierre. Is that her name?
Yeah. But I always say it like Karini from the 90 Day Fiancé guy.
Karine. Okay, so Karine Jean-Pierre, she went to NYIT.
Yes.
I'm from New York.
Yes.
I'm not knocking fucking morons, but there was a kid in my high school who was troubled. He almost didn't graduate because he missed so much school. He's one of those kids who kind of just wasn't there.
Okay.
And then he got a 390 on the math section of his SATs.
That's low.
Very low. And he went to NYIT, which is where Karine Jean-Pierre went, and she's the press secretary, and everyone thinks she's kind of stupid and we don't have proof. I think I just proved it.
You cracked it.
I did crack it. You know, if you go to NYIT, I'm not talking about you. I'm sure the school's changed. It's different now. It's smart. Better to do a tech school than go to an expensive college. All that stuff. But Karine Jean-Pierre is a moron, and now we proved it. She went to NYIT. I know people who went there who were very stupid.
I just looked up typical SAT scores for NYIT.
You basically just have to take the test.
Yeah, you got to show up. You got to sit in the
Which
chair.
is like, you know.
It's not good. I don't want to score shame anybody. You know, some people are bad test takers. Others are good. Like myself, I was good. But these numbers are low. That's all I'll say.
The numbers are low. So there's more proof. If you were wondering if Karine Jean-Pierre is qualified or smart, now you know.
Did you see that she had to cover for Joe Biden after he named the dead lady in the press conference?
Yeah.
He's like, Jackie, where's Jackie? And she died in a car crash 2 months ago. We're not going to play it. But just imagine like showing up to work and being like, I have to defend that.
It's crazy that's what you have to do. Defend like the horrible statements, the inaccuracies, the
dementia guy says.
The dementia guy. And then when Trump was in there, he was actually doing good things, and you have to defend him even harder because they're trying to spin every single thing negative. It's
all
like,
you're doing is like deflecting malicious attacks. And
Yeah.
Karine Jean-Pierre is like, yeah. So the woman was on his mind. He probably forgot she was dead, you know? So it's just
he
like
forgot.
hilarious.
He doesn't know anything. Okay, that's the end of housekeeping. It was a very good housekeeping. Thank you for that bounty. You're getting your rewards. Moving on to Cringe of the Week. All right, first clip of Cringe of the Week. The woman is held hostage by her now trans husband.
Yeah.
This was in Culture last week. This is probably one of the craziest clips Space Latin's ever sent us.
Everybody's been asking, how did Priscilla handle your transition? How did you handle my transition in the beginning?
In the beginning, with love, acceptance, and compassion, because I didn't want you to take your life.
Which is like the most manipulative thing ever.
Yeah.
Love, acceptance, because I didn't want you to kill yourself because you said you would. So I basically had to go along with whatever you said.
Yeah, I was trapped. I had to. So you stayed alive because I
like-
loved you when you were a man.
And he's going like as if it's like a progressive thing.
Yeah.
I got one.
So it's been really awesome for my freedom and my independence, but at the same time, I totally have moments of missing my big strong man. Now we share life as friends.
And makeup.
And makeup and hair and
And as much as I want
going
to share
out
clothes, I don't
and
fit them.
checking out boys.
We don't do that.
We don't do yes, we do.
All the time.
That face, like for a second they caught her where she went like,
Yeah, I don't think you can hide that.
yeah, that's the real giveaway. She did the like,
You can't, I don't think you can fake genuine joy.
you can't.
Yeah, and so
And that's what that is. And does that look like she's faking genuine joy to everyone in the audience? Yes. Authenticity meters, rock bottom. She misses her macho man sometimes. But now they get to check out boys. So
and share makeup. And as much as this guy would like to share clothes, but he's
he doesn't fit.
I think this person is like a WWE wrestler or something, right? Like they're like doing it, like they're doing a social media thing, like where it's like, this is our quirky relationship.
Yeah.
Like, come follow us.
It's happening in live time. Watch the eventual downward spiral. Hopefully
Yeah.
not, but
Hopefully, you know, at first she was worried about suicide, you know, and I'm a little more worried about murder suicide.
oh, that's so true.
So
if she were to,
No slander here, but you know, that's kind of where my mind goes. That's just like a personal opinion type thing.
if those were options on the stock market, they would not be trading at a penny.
It'd be a small premium, but that's it, you know.
All right, moving on. Next thing, the post-penis surgery trans arm.
Yeah, so I'll read this to you. It says 4.5 years after bottom fallow surgery, which we've covered on the podcast. Now it's unknown if I can continue to type on a computer. And the guy, the trying to be a guy, posted this image of his hand.
So
Disgusting.
it is disgusting. He can't work on a computer. His arm doesn't, his hands don't really work anymore. His penis probably doesn't work at all.
Almost
ever.
surely doesn't work.
And we're not making fun of anyone's problems or whatever people are going through, but that is some Pinocchio-ass shit.
What do you mean?
Like the skinny arm.
Oh,
and
the
big,
glove?
or the hand where you have like the skinny hand.
That's Mickey Mouse shit.
That's a Mickey Mouse Pinocchio-ass shit.
Okay.
That's just what it looks like.
Yeah, they can't show this to people enough. I'm sure when you get to the Vanderbilt Gender Clinic, this isn't one of the things they show you.
Yeah.
The gender affirming care they give doesn't provide. Oh yeah, and then small thing, you know, just some of the pitfalls. You might have Pinocchio ass hand, and your dick won't work, and it'll all be for nothing, and you'll hate your life.
Yeah, exactly. The pamphlet just shows the smiling people with like the smiling men with the beard and the flat chest now. Like that's what the pamphlet shows.
Yeah.
The interesting thing between the right and the left when it comes to the trans debate, the right wants to let parents decide what's best for their kids. Mm-hmm. The left is saying that they should let kids decide what's best for themselves because they're scared the kid's going to commit suicide or something. So there's basically saying...
That's a common thread.
Yeah, that's the common theme, the common thread. And they're basically saying kids can decide for themselves, which is basically saying kids can consent, which is a slippery slope that eventually leads to like sexual exploitation of children because you're saying in one instance kids can consent, and that's like a slippery slope. We saw what happened with gay marriage. It ended with the woodshop yammers guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it ended with woodshop teacher big titties. So, I mean, the slope, we're sliding down it right now.
We are currently sliding down a very slippery slope.
And Republicans are kind of just like, hey, can we end the slope here? Like, let's just stop it right here. And then, like, that's our bottom. The bottom's in.
And they're like,
no, let's see how it plays out.
You have to call them that on legal documents.
Hide it from their parents, call it on legal documents, and hide it from the parents.
Yeah. Next clip or next screenshot, this person needs help because they're getting misgendered.
Yeah, it says, I don't know what else to do to not be misgendered. I've tried so hard. Nails, jewelry, hairbands, purse, hair, and still get called sir. Any ideas?
We have some ideas. We are not making, first thing, we're not making fun of this person.
This is a genuine help
This
situation.
is a genuine call for help. This person is sad. I feel bad. Mm-hmm. I feel for their sadness. We are going to help this person pass as female with some real tips.
Okay.
Some real advice.
Okay. What do you got?
First, throw a bow in your hair.
Yeah.
Soften yourself up a little bit. A little blush wouldn't kill you. Maybe get some acrylic long nails. Get those toes out and paint them. Get those toes out. Maybe throw on some heels, some open toe heels.
Is this like the backwards world where you say stuff that's going to expose this person even more?
No,
Okay.
not at all. I am trying to help.
Okay. What else you got?
Long toe nails. Try your best to get the first word in when you're talking to people so you can kind of plant the seed. So it's like, you know where a guy like me can catch a cab around here?
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That's helpful. And then in the soft voice, in the woman voice that you do.
You're ordering a drink. This lady needs some rosé pronto. What's the bartender's gonna say? Okay, ma'am. Like that's how you do it.
Yeah.
You get to it first.
Fair.
Don't give them a choice. Talk to people with masks on. Those are your allies.
That's true.
They believe you.
Yeah.
Those
that's
are
true.
your go-to people. Get more vaccines.
Easy
The
one.
nurses have to call you whatever you want to be called.
Yeah.
You
Move
can
to
get there.
Canada.
Move to Canada, get some more vaccines, talk to the nurses. Oh, us ladies need to stick together. That's how you get it done. You always have to have the I'm a lady bits prepared.
First, early.
Exactly.
I get that.
You got a little repertoire. That's how I live my life, just different.
Yeah.
Talk to the kids. Kids don't know anything and are easily confused. If you tell them you're a lady, you can probably convince them they're a great audience because they can't really think.
They can't think. They can't leave, usually, if they're in groups. Start talking to kids.
Tell the kids you're a lady and they'll go, okay. And then there you go. Work on the next generation.
You know what my tip is going to be? Giant fake cans.
I had a feeling that you weren't over that yet.
Yeah, I'm weaning off. But yeah, you know, it's an easy go-to. There's no mistake there. You can't, nobody mistakes him.
Hello, lady.
Your tongue rolls out and you fold it back in.
Hello, lady.
Yeah.
All right. We are out of that part of Cringe of the Week. We're into the second part of Cringe of the Week. This is like a double Cringe of the Week, kind of. A guy says the N-word by accident on a ring cam. Check this out.
Hello. Yes, sir. Hey, how you doing? Hey, sorry to bother you. I'm Fernando. I work at Peak Energy. We're a few doors down. We're in 1845. Okay. So we do solar around here. We're just coming around talking to niggers. Sorry, dude. Neighbors. I apologize, man.
He just closes the door on him. At least the guy who heard it didn't punch him or something.
Yeah.
He just closes the door, and that guy kind of calls it a day and moves on.
That's an easy out. If you're the homeowner and you're like, I don't really care about solar right now, it's like, dude, he said it. Like, I'm out.
Yeah, you don't have to even listen. You just
I'm
close
done.
the door.
I don't even have to respect him.
It's crazy because, like, as someone who says the N-word a lot, would you ever accidentally say it by accident, Richard?
What? I thought you were talking about you as someone who says the N-word a lot.
I was talking about you. You would never say it by accident, right?
Never. Never.
Oh, so this is like, I guess this is like the systematic racism that we've heard so much about. This is like the boogeyman, the racist boogeyman. This like guy trying to sell you Duke Energy is the one holding you down.
Yeah, pretty much. The salesman trying to impress you is the one who's really beating you down and oppressing you, I guess.
Yeah, D.L. Hewley probably sees it and he's like,
again?
That's what we have to deal with.
Yeah.
And then this is interesting because there's a new potential Amazon show that's going to come out that's going to use the Ring doorbells and the Amazon doorbell things to create like a TV show. So it's going to be stuff like this. But also when like all those cameras are used for the Amazon show, it kind of proves my theory that I'm living in the Truman Show.
Yeah.
So the odds I'm living in the Truman Show kind of just went up as well.
Do you want to elaborate on that? I don't think you've talked about that very much to the audience. You think you're in the Truman Show?
I'm 100% in the Truman Show. I just don't have solid proof.
Okay.
And now that everyone is going to be like, they're merging audience with like creator and audience are becoming the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's going to kind of...
That line is being blurred a lot.
And that proves that I am, in fact, audience creator myself combined into one Truman Show. Everything revolves around me. I catch people all the time powered off. And if I'm not around, like when I'm not around and you're at your place, do you just like power down and wait for me to come back around?
No, I hang out with like my real friends. Like I'm on the job right now.
Got it.
To be with you. Like, and I'm like the best friend from the Truman Show. Like I'm your handler.
But you're the one who knows everything and kind of like reports back to the bosses and says like, oh, he's kind of figuring it out. Or like, nah, we're good. He doesn't know what's going on.
No, because you're so schizo that it's like, I just go, he's schizo again. And then it's like, we do the Truman Show again the next day.
Interesting.
Yeah. And what was I going to say about the Truman Show? So how do you explain the podcast on the Truman Show that you just like upload it and it goes to nowhere and nobody watches it? And then they put numbers on your YouTube and they go, oh, he's doing it.
YouTube is in on it.
Okay.
And then all the companies and sponsors are all made up.
Okay, that's fair.
And it's just all to make me not lose it and figure it out. But I'm pretty much 99.9% sure I know what it is.
Yep. Yeah. Which is why you love Ovaltine so much. Ovaltine, the chocolate milk drink that gets
I never really watched the movie.
Okay. They try to do ad reads like during conversations.
Oh,
like,
interesting.
So they would do like product placement.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
All right, last piece of cringe. Lizzo defiled some American history. She went on stage and was given James Madison's flute.
Yeah, from like a crystal flute from 1820.
Which has never really been played before. They gave it to her, and then she's like, oh, I'm twerking and playing the flute.
And I think like they needed literally Secret Service and the Capitol Police to bring it to her. It was like like we spent 10 grand in taxpayer dollars on this.
That's very interesting. I had yeah, sure, let it play.
So she's got the flute. She's
She should have spiked it and said, that's racism. This ends now. There was no James Madison. Everything you need to know is from the last 20 years. That's it.
It's so funny because Lizzo is a talented person. And she just does pig shit. It's like, I just twerked and blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, you're fucking 300. You're 330. I'm upping my prediction. She's 330.
She's 330.
So it's just crazy to me.
Yeah, it is. And she's a person who pushes like the racial division for sure a lot. And I think she's the perfect person to do it because the powers that be need racial division. And they probably got in her ear and they're like, Lizzo, the white man don't want to see a big girl like you succeed. They don't want to see you on stage. They want to take you down. Like, this is your time. And she's like, yeah, that's all I need to know about like history or racism or whatever. Like, yeah, the old white man don't want to see a big Lizzo on stage. Which, like, no one really cares if your songs are good. They're good. I used to like Lizzo. I listened to her in 2019 before anyone else figured it out.
Exactly.
And it was great. I liked it.
And you know what's funny? There's kind of like a undeniable thing where if you're a fatty, like Lizzo, right? Or like Luke Combs, right? Those people who are just like fat, it's like, yeah, they have talent. They blew through like 6 levels of like mid-level people being like, he doesn't have the look. She doesn't have the body for this. Like, you know, they blew through and they broke through those barriers. But to make it all about being a pig, like, you know, they lead with like, she's so beautiful. Like the fake world of it is what bothers me. It's like, let's be honest. Like she's successful despite being morbidly on me.
Despite,
you know, it's like a despite thing. It's not like what got her there or whatever.
But the racial division she's pushing, she's the perfect patsy for that.
Yeah.
She's the perfect patsy for it.
Yeah.
And she does a great job at it. That takes us out of our cringe of the week and takes us into Urban Decay. We have a crazy Urban Decay section this week. I'll play that first.
That's actually a good transition because that is Urban Decay as well.
It's right on the edge.
American societal decay.
That's why I put it right at the end of right at the end of cringe, right at the beginning of Urban.
Well done.
It's all, hey, this is no accident, guys. There's a lot of preparation that goes into
this. Ain't no hobby, fellas.
Yeah.
All right.
Real talk.
What do you want?
The LA Hood Life Post, the guy who, the business owner who has to deal with the guy shitting on his front stoop every day. So the Urban Decay theme this week is people taking matters into their own hands.
In Sherman Oaks, California.
You think I'll play when I say you gotta die? You really gotta die. You gotta die.
The homelessness crisis.
You gotta get your half-naked ass out of my restaurant right now.
Has business owners closing up shops and employees fearing for their safety.
They come in, you know, tweaking out and things of that nature. So, you know, you never know what you're gonna get here on patrol.
They've dealt with fires caused by the unhoused, aggression on a daily basis.
I found another woman's head in the fire.
I fear for my staff. I fear for my guests. I don't know from one day to another what's going to happen.
Like this man who openly defecates on Ventura Boulevard, and on this day tosses a bag of his bodily waste onto business owner Paul Scrivano's SUV.
Every single day, every single morning, I'm wiping that off my property before I have to do business.
Sir, why are you throwing feces at people? Who? You threw feces at this gentleman.
This guy has to understand. I'm half paralyzed. I'm blind. I have no card for 9 years.
We offer to help the man with services for the homeless, but...
Sir, do you need help? The city is offering help.
Every day he's like, the other guy needs help.
He needs help.
Yeah, he needs help cleaning off all the shit from everywhere every day. Imagine having to deal with that. Like, why wouldn't that guy just take his business elsewhere, anywhere else in the country?
Yeah, well, he's sunk cost. He's hoping things will get better a little bit, right?
Yeah, he's pretty stuck.
Yeah, and so that's the funny thing is these people, like, police don't do anything, right? Fire department, social services, it's kind of like up to the bum.
Yeah,
you know, he's like, no, I don't need help. This guy needs help, and it's like that'll be the cycle forever. So
He's not off the street.
He's not exactly. And so like, who's going to really stop it?
That's the question of the day.
That's kind of the common theme.
And
right?
we have in all these clips in Urban Decay this week, people are taking matters into their own hands. This next clip, the porta potty flip.
Speaking of which, actually, you said the crux. You said the crux of the issue.
When?
Last week, you said crux, and you said crutch instead of the crux of the issue. So would you apologize into the camera?
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, porta potty shit.
See, I have no problem if I made a mistake.
You also said systematic racism at the beginning.
I do that as a bit.
Okay. I just want it on the record. He does that as a bit.
Systemic or systematic. I don't know the difference between the words. I think it's just funny to say it however it comes out. And then people want to give you a comment and say, oh, it's systemic, not systematic. That helps the algo.
And I think it's a bad bit because it blurs the line so much that it's like, does he really not know? Like,
so what's systematic and systemic? Systematic means like it's part of a machine, and systemic means it's buried
within the system. Yeah.
Like it's
I
the
don't
same
know.
thing.
Let's not get into semantics, but there is a right and a wrong.
Semantics is what it is.
Yeah.
This next clip is more people taking matters into their own hands. This homeless guy was stealing people's Amazon packages, and look what they did to him. Before we play it, we don't condone any of this behavior. We're not going to encourage people to take matters into their own hands. This is just some people who did and what happened.
Yeah, I don't condone it, but it wouldn't have made the show if they...
It's like the ridiculousness situation. Don't send us any clips, but we're going to show them.
But if they're really good, hit up a producer.
Exactly.
All right. This is what we do to porch pirates, the good old-fashioned shit.
So they put him in there.
They doing both of them? He can do the green one.
So they pretend they're making him clean it. They're like, do it and close that door.
Close that door, man. Like, this is like sad. But he stole stuff. If this was an innocent person, it would be way worse. You hear him go, oh my God. Horrible. It starts leaking out. It's disgusting. Oh, it's like the worst thing you could do to somebody. That guy will also never steal an Amazon package from that neighborhood again.
And here, I'm going to skip forward to him getting out.
Here's him getting out.
Man, don't steal no more packages from around here, man. Oh my God.
Oh, that's actually disgusting.
You know what?
That would set me back a long time.
Well, you wouldn't get caught. You wouldn't be stealing packages. You're a contributing member of society. You're not a scumbag.
I have my packages stolen.
Yeah, exactly. So I love that street justice. It's like, and it's kind of like a thing where, no, we don't need court costs. We don't need, an officer and a witness stand and a this and a that. We just need a couple people who care enough to do something.
Yeah.
It's
very true. Well, that guy learned a lesson. Next, in New Orleans, because there's no police here, and if you call the cops, they don't come, and there's just no cops, they're now using civilians to patrol and solve crimes.
They're asking for people to sign up, volunteers, to kind of just like watch areas. And there's some corny jobs like, answer tourist questions and hand out pamphlets and stuff. And then there's others that are just like patrol watch.
Yeah.
Where you kind of like observe and report like you're Seth Rogen in that movie.
Yeah. Richard Rapway has the Nextdoor app.
Mm-hmm.
Check out this post from the Nextdoor app.
Yeah, and we'll blur this guy's face, but it says, man, average height, dark complexion, wearing black shirt and shorts, known to have stabbed 2 people last Friday night on Toulouse, has struck again, stabbing someone on Barracks this morning. Barracks, whatever. I don't know the street names here. He has gold upper teeth and fled the scene in a dark domestic SUV. Keep your head on a swivel. And then one of the comments below said he also has gold teeth, like a whole row of gold teeth.
Dark complexion and gold teeth.
Black shirt, shorts, things he can change probably tomorrow if he's out on a stabbing spree again. We're not talking bike thief here. We're not talking package thief. We're talking about a guy randomly stabbing people, and this corny-ass person on Nextdoor won't even tell us what he was.
Dark
complexion. I don't know.
Teeth.
From the Mediterranean?
Yeah.
Olive skin? Dark complexion? What do you mean by that?
Complexion.
You talking sub-Saharan here?
Yeah, exactly. So that's what it is. You can't really say because you'll get accused of racism.
This guy is trying to warn people in his area that there's a stabber out there, and he's known to stab, and he's looking to do it again, and he can't tell you what he looks like.
because you get called racist, and the cops aren't going to help. They don't come. They're hiring us.
They're looking for civilians.
They're looking for help.
So it's up to us, and you won't even tell them a description. So good woke points there, good boy.
Very good woke points. It takes us to our next clip and our, I don't know, second ever interview on the podcast.
Yeah.
This guy was cleaning up his block. There was someone in front of the 7-Eleven. He lives in Denver. He was cleaning up the block. He was kind of getting who he called the hood rat. We call them street rats.
We call them street rats.
He called them a hood rat.
ne'er-do-well.
Yeah.
You know, so an instigator. That type.
The riffraff. Mm-hmm. So this guy was getting one of the homeless guys off the block, and then instead of the police helping or the guy getting in trouble or whatever, a lady on TikTok made a video saying he's racist. Check this out.
Today's racist of the day, in my opinion, claims that he's going to get rid of all the black people. I'm sorry, the hood rats, as he claims.
Hey, dude, and my friends, get the fuck out of here, bro. Oh, this is 7-Eleven? This is my 7-Eleven. My 7-Eleven.
It's my 7-Eleven.
That's right.
I mean, I live right here, too. I think
Smash 7-Eleven.
he lives...
You coming out here?
You do, and you were chasing that man as he was walking away.
Right, get that on film. I'm chasing the hood rats off of my block.
7-Eleven. This is not your block. Do you own this?
You don't even know the problem. Go back.
This allegedly happened in Denver, Colorado, so I need you guys to share this, duet this, tag as many people as you can so we can identify who these guys are.
So they need to identify the guys who cleaned up the block, not the guys who are causing problems on the block, the homeless people who are aggressive and robbing people.
Do you think this guy wants to be cleaning people off of his block? Or do you think he hit a boiling point for some reason?
Yeah.
You think he's looking for trouble? He probably lives in a $3,000 a month apartment in Denver, downtown Denver.
Exactly.
And then here's the funny thing is the woman, the professional victim racism claimer, immediately goes to, he's chasing all black people out. And it's like, black people, hood rats. It's like, you made that connection.
You have to make these
then
leaps.
All black people? I don't know. It seemed like just a guy who's causing trouble.
Yeah. So the lady called him racist, tried to get the people to dox him basically and figure out who he is so they can make him a publicly known racist. We do not stand for that here on the show. So we're going to call that guy on FaceTime right now and get his side of the story. All right. So Keith, welcome to Fleccas Talks, the podcast.
Yeah, dude.
Tell us about what happened. We saw the video that went viral, but tell us about what happened. Who was that homeless person that you were dealing with, and what was he doing up until that point?
So he's one of the local homeless guys. We see him a lot, but at that moment, he had just got kicked out of the 7-Eleven because he was in there, making a ruckus. They tried to steal. And I was standing outside. He came out, and immediately, my friend and I are standing there, and he immediately just came out and started harassing us. And, we told him to go, leave, dude, just don't do that here, And the 7-Eleven guys came outside. I won't say their names, but, they kick a lot of these types of homeless guys out all the time, So they came out. And, they made him leave, ultimately.
Do the cops ever get involved and try to help with this or no?
No. I mean, if you call the cops downtown, they're so busy, with 1,000 other calls just like it. Nobody wants to really talk about what's going on with the crime in Denver, but it's kind of out of control, especially downtown. So he was,
Yeah. So what were your intentions by trying to get him off the block? What were your hopes by doing that?
We kick them off all the time. They hang out, they try to camp. And it's just the mess that they make and the danger that they bring to just average people that just want to walk down the sidewalk and they can't, and we see it literally every day. It never fails. You walk out there, they're setting up, they're doing drugs, they smoke crack or whatever, that's why we call them hood rats. And I got called a racist for saying hood rat, I mean, that's what we call them.
We call them street rats, but hood rat and street rat's basically the same thing.
It's just, okay. And so by the end of it, we're down at the end of the block and you have to make sure, yell at them, tell them to go, leave, be a fucking man about it, I guess. And stand up, this is a societal change that needs to happen, If we're walking around
100%.
tolerating this, then that's what's going to be there. But if we don't tolerate it as a society, then it won't be there. You know, it's not up to the police to come down here and babysit us every day. You know, this is too many people have let it go by, and it's to the point where it's outrageous. They're just doing drugs. They'll pull knives. They'll do everything. They get crazy. They'll expose themselves. So, you know, around the block now, and it's not just me. There's a few of us. There's a guy that looks like he's on Star Wars that walks through the alley with a baton taser, you know, and runs them out of there. It's crazy.
But that's kind of what needs to be done. The cops don't do anything. The community is suffering. Who's going to help the community? Like, it's up to the local men who take it seriously and want to see improvements. What was some of the backlash you got after the video went viral?
You know, the only backlash is just in the comments of people that feed into that kind of shit. Like, they're seeing a snippet of a video, and suddenly this lady says, you know, the racist, and he wants all the black people. And it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what color you are. They're all colors. Like, stop pulling the race card. Let's talk about the problem. And the problem is homeless people are dangerous, dude. Why do you think that the cops can barely handle them? Because the same exact thing happens to them. They start race baiting them. Or, you know, the women always scream that they're being sexually assaulted by the police that are just doing their job, you know. And so the police, they're more scared than ever, you know. They're going to get called out. And now it's going to be a whole deal, you know, if something happens. And, you know, more and more people on the street are saying less and less. And I don't think that's the approach. And even the video that was shot, I called the gentleman out and her as well. I told her, can you defend yourself against these homeless men? You're a woman. Can you do it? And then that's when she said, she was fucking lit, you know. Oh my God, I'm a woman and I can't defend myself. And I'm like, lady, stop, you know, just stop. And that's essentially at the end of the thing when it kind of diffused. And I was like, it's not even worth it. You know who you're talking to, you know? They're the people that allow it. They live 2 blocks away, they said. And there's a 7-Eleven that's closer to them. And I'll tell you why they're coming down to mine. Because there's no homeless people hanging out outside of it asking you for money.
Interesting.
You know?
Wow.
So I'd love for them to show that, you know?
Absolutely. Instead, they pretend that the issue is you, the person who's trying to clean up the neighborhood and protect the people who can't protect themselves, women and children, people who aren't capable to defend themselves. And now you're the problem. It needs to go viral because there's racism or whatever.
Yes.
It's
so
brutal.
They completely, and I'm not asking for any type of glory. I don't care. I'm just living my life. I'm just an average dude, you know? Just don't shit on the sidewalk in my front door. Is that too much to ask? Don't shit on the sidewalk, you know? Don't get aggressive with people. You know, don't expose yourself. And the real Denver, and it is a beautiful city, but the real Denver at its core down here, post-pandemic, is ugly.
It really is. And you live in downtown, so I'm sure your rent is high, thousands of dollars, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And this is what you have to deal with.
We live down here. And every day, we deal with this. So I don't know. I feel like it's totally wrong for somebody to post like that and turn it into something it absolutely wasn't. And then the lady that originally posted the video, she posted another video saying that she literally had no idea what was going on. She's like, I just started filming. But I'm like, and you left out the part where if this was racially charged, the 2 gentlemen that work at 7-Eleven are both black.
It's like,
we know them. We see them every day, you know?
And they're on your side.
We know these people. Absolutely. I'm not going to go in there, especially if the people are starting something inside of the store. They'll start, like, a dude probably 3 weeks ago went in there and took a full soda and threw it at a lady. And you're like, okay. And you look around, and instead of people helping out or like doing something, they're holding their phone. And they're just like, well, I'm making a video. And I'm like, do something about this. Grab him.
You have to, like,
you know,
wake the people up. Like, wake up.
You know, what if it was your mom? If your mom was that lady, you know, like, you would be all over that guy. You would be attacking
100%.
him. You don't pull your phone out. do something. I don't want to fall into that like cliche be a man thing, but
hey,
dude,
be a man's good advice these days. 100%.
Be a man, And so
Absolutely.
I don't know. Just I feel pretty rotten about the whole thing. I watch you guys a lot all the time, and I'm like, these guys are just too logical. It's too much for them. They can't handle it. So I knew what to do.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we got you on the show. I'm glad we heard your side of it. We stand with you. We need more people these days to be a man for sure. We're gonna send you a base mug. If you text me text me or DM me your address, we'll send you a base mug and a shirt.
Nice, dude.
Cool.
I love it, man.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for your time, Keith. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Be good.
So there you have it. There's our boy Keith holding it down. Be a man is his advice. Be a man.
Sometimes you push a man too far.
Yeah, and he also told us that the person recording him, trying to expose him for being racist or whatever, she was with her husband, and he was like, "Dude, you're able to walk to the store that I keep the block clean around because of me. Your husband doesn't do shit.
Yeah,
he's kind of a pussy."
Beta.
So thank you, Keith. We're sending you a base mug, and everyone else kind of take note. That's the kind of podcast viewers we have. He's a great guy. He's holding it down. The police aren't helping. The police, if they do deal with these homeless people, they release them right back on the street. So if the police aren't going to protect you, you kind of need to appropriately take matters into your own hands, which is what we've seen this week in Urban Decay. Don't get depressed. Don't get too down. We are heading into our uplifting gold section, which is brought to you by Gold River Trading Company. Guys, Gold River came back for more ad sponsorships. They love sponsoring the show. They're very appreciative of how many people have bought tea from them. So let's keep that going. If you guys are in the tea game or want to try some tea out, why buy from people and companies that hate your guts? Why go to Starbucks? Why buy Lipton? All these companies that are pushing the BLM, LGBT, PC crap. Let's buy from America First Company that actually has your patriotic values and best interest in mind. That's what Gold River Trading Company does. They're a fantastic company. They have a new line of pumpkin spice tea that is fantastic. It just came here last week. We've been enjoying that. Tastes great. They have black tea, iced tea, all kinds of great products. If you're a tea drinker or have a tea drinker in your life, this is the tea for you. Pick up a pack today. Use code Fleccas for a big chunk off. Support the show. Support the company supporting the show. It goes a long way, and it makes more shows happen. They're very grateful for Gold River. Thank you for sponsoring, and thank you guys for buying and making them happy sponsors. All right, first clip of Uplifting Gold. Let's go right into the baby faces in the womb.
Yep.
This is interesting.
Wait, so you guys have to see this. Have you heard about this? So this morning, we wanted to show you, I'm trying to change the subject, some amazing baby faces. Look at this. So researchers in Britain wanted to know if babies in the womb react when the mom ingests a flavor of food. And this is what they saw. Do you want to guess what was on the left? So the left is a baby in its resting state. And then on the right, you see how he smiles 20 minutes? The mom ate some carrots.
On the left with the...
They was just a resting state.
That was the resting, but he liked the carrots.
When a baby's reacting to maybe a flavor that's bitter, so you shouldn't interpret it whether, it's happy or distaste.
No, I think that's how I do it. Yeah. Because once they get out of the womb, it's that same look.
Yeah, it's the same look.
Once they get out of the womb, it's the same look. So based out Roker is what, pro-life? You're basically saying the baby in the womb, the baby out of the womb make the same reaction. But then in another news article, you guys will say it's a fetus, it sells, it's nothing, woman's right to choose.
Yeah, yeah. They use it when it's convenient, when it's a feel-good story on morning TV for all the moms in America. It's like, that's a baby. It does the same thing. But when the Supreme Court does something, it's...
we need to be able to kill it.
We need to be able to end that right now. Whenever, no questions asked, nothing.
The smiley baby, we need to be able to suck it out.
Yep, at will.
Next clip, the cheater gets brought back to their house by the Uber.
Yeah, this is a bit of a long clip. Should we...
Let's let it rip. Uplifting Gold. We're at the end.
All right, listen up, all you cheaters. If you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you ever need a Lyft or an Uber and you get in my car, be forewarned. If you ever pull this kind of shit that this guy pulled today, you got the same thing coming. Today I picked up a guy. His wife and his kids walked him out to the car, said, "I love you, Daddy," blah, blah, blah. So he gets in, he says hi, he goes, "I added a stop." I said, "I saw that." So we go and we pull up at the stop, and this lady comes out and she's got a little bit of luggage, like a handbag and a tote, a small tote. She gets in and she's like, "I am so glad you finally got away from your damn wife." Okay. So then he kisses her, and it wasn't a hi, how you doing kind of kiss. And so he goes, I changed our drop-off location. I said, I saw that. I didn't know exactly where it was that they were going at that particular time. I just saw that it had an update. So they continued to talk and this, that, and the other. And she says, I'm tired of you putting me off. When are you going to leave? And he said, I've got some things I've got to take care of. Let's talk about this later, blah, 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 blah. Keep in mind, I was about 5 miles from his house. So understand something. This is my car. I work for myself. I am an independent contractor. If I choose to end your ride, it's my choice. Uber's not going to fire me. Uber's not going to ban me. Uber's not going to get rid of me. If you are doing something crappy in my car, I have the right to handle it however I see fit. Well, things didn't turn out so well for him. I took him back to his house. I drove up and made him and her get out of my car at his home, where his wife and his kids were. There was no other way this was going to go on. There is nothing worse than a dog. I don't give a fuck if you're a female or you're a male. Pull some shit like that in my car and you're going to get done like that.
There you have it.
I mean, it's a noble cause, but I think she took a couple liberties there. Like maybe that was kidnapping for a brief moment.
There was a brief moment of potential kidnapping.
I don't know.
But when you see a decaying culture and community around you, and like in the last Urban Decay section, you take matters into your own hands.
And she clearly did. And this reads like a John Quinones, what would you do situation. Like, bye, honey. It's like, all right, time to cheat. Like he's so obvious with it and stuff.
So blatant.
When are you going to leave her? And so like maybe she was on a hidden camera show and she just kind of didn't know it. They couldn't follow her.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what happens. Never cheat in your Ubers. Never cheat at all, obviously. But
yeah, they just think she's an NPC. Like, oh, she's just my driver. I changed the thing. You're going there, right? And she's like fuming at the front of the car.
Yeah,
so
love that. She's based. If that's you, the Uber driver, will send you a base mug as well.
We're ripping them out this week.
Yeah, guys, the amount of base mugs I've sent probably 100 base mugs in the last couple of months.
I owe one guy, the guy who said mix milkers, who came up with that. I owe him.
We owe some. If we owe you base mugs, I try my best. If I miss your DM, just bump it to the top and send the receipts of either Gold River or Public Square or whatever the call to action was that week, and I will get you that base mug. I'm a man of my word.
Honor.
Let's do the corn cob trick. I saw this video, and I've always seen this. I thought it was an upside down cake pan, which is what you do with it. But this guy looks like he invented some sort of technique for getting the corns off the cob.
Check this out. This is my amazing son, Justin, showing me the coolest way to cut corn off the cob.
Doesn't that look great? It just rips it all off.
Yeah,
that's like perfect.
That is great. Is that called like a corn husker though, or something?
I don't know. I just thought you did upside down cakes with that, and then you went like this and flipped it over. I had no idea that's what it was for, but hey, he cracked it.
All right. I don't think that was that groundbreaking or uplifting, but that's fair. For you?
It was uplifting for me.
All right. That's fair.
Thank you. Let's go to our next clip. The cat falls on the swing.
Yep.
This is uplifting.
Little girl, she's on the swing. Cat's trying to climb over her. Oh, cat's slipping a little bit. It's not as sturdy as she thought. Cat goes down. Boom. Little girl flipping
full wipeout from the cat playing in the backyard. That's what happens when you have a nice family.
Cat learned a lesson. Girl learned a lesson.
Lots of lessons learned that day. No street rats ruining your life.
Yeah.
Next clip, the alligator swim coach.
Yeah, this is Wally the alligator. This is a good one.
Hello, my name is Joe Henney, and I am Wally Gator, the world-famous emotional sport alligator's dad. Wally's quite different. He just refuses to bite. I think he thinks he's part human. I don't even think he's dog.
Wally just lets me flip him on his back. Like this.
Kind of reminds me of Jerry.
Wow. Yeah.
Hold on.
So Wally isn't attacking anyone. He doesn't bite.
He follows her around like a puppy dog. She flips him up on her back, on his back and stuff as they're in the pool swimming around, just having a good time. And then she actually helps educate the other children.
His teeth are, and he has like a little place where his little tooth goes right here.
Yeah.
So Wally might get a little bigger soon. He's about 3 months away. I think Wally just realizes he's like, all right, it's like when a snake, you know those stories of the snake like laying next to you in bed and he's measuring you to see if he can eat you?
Yeah.
It's one of those situations where Wally just knows he's not big enough yet, but eventually alligator death roll.
You think so? I think he's bought in. I think Wally's all in on human life.
You think Wally gets to full size and then still is still not a threat and like full size gator in the pool and that's okay?
What is full size though? I thought gators are kind of like you get as big as what you eat, kind of like an anaconda, where it's like you don't grow to 12 feet based on nothing.
I just thought they all go whoop, I'll go all the way.
I'll have to look into that. I can't say one way or another.
Let's go.
That's good action though. Like you're the kid who has an alligator. Who wouldn't want to be your friend or come to your pool party, right?
That's pretty good. Do you think the mental health or money sign is worth showing in Uplifting Gold?
Mental health or money sign?
Guy who's like, I have anxiety.
Sure. I kind of like roasting these types.
Yeah, let's rip that.
It's not really uplifting, but it's a guy who's doing like a TikTok type challenge. I have anxiety and depression and need to talk to someone.
And everyone walks right by him.
And nobody wants to help. He's looking right at him. He's twisting it towards him like, help, help.
And everyone walks by and it's supposed to be sad.
Oh, and then he switches it to free money. Everyone wants to be his friend when it's free money taped to the sign. Wow, what a deep, impactful social experiment you just did there.
And at the end, it's like, which world do you want to live in? It's like, which world are we already in, buddy? Do you see the street rats that we have to deal with?
Yeah.
I would have helped. I would have gone up and been like, hey, man, it looks like you need some help. What's up with the money on the other side of that sign? I noticed you had some help. What's with the money? What's with that money over there? The free money side. What's that about?
I just like when they try to be so profound, and it's like, yeah, dude, you're getting people on their way to work. Like this guy's hustling home to pick up his kids and do this. He's not going to help the anxiety and depression guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Take the 20 seconds to take the free money. Sure.
Exactly.
I don't
Literally
think
free money.
I don't think it's some broader, statement on society as a whole. I think it's just kind of like, people are going to take money, dude.
Exactly.
You didn't crack anything.
And also for the anxiety, depression, I need help to talk to someone. It's like,
there's professionals or something.
Do people with anxiety and depression seek help from literally anybody? I thought they kind of keep it to themselves and like it boils over and like it stays internal for a long time, for too long. It's like no one would go out and publicly do that. That would give you more anxiety.
I think the people sniffed bullshit on that and they said, yeah, an anxious guy standing in the middle of his sidewalk holding a sign telling everybody his problems. Nah.
And someone over there with the camera.
It's like the Men in exactly. That's like the Men in Black moment where he's like shooting in the all the aliens and he's like, nah, I shot that little girl. She had a physics textbook. She's out at 10 p.m. at night hanging out with all the monsters. Something ain't right. And so that's what I think they sniffed out on the anxiety.
100% a sniff out. And it's like some viral video that's like telling about how society's so bad. Society's so bad. That doesn't prove it. It is bad.
Yeah, you're right. I guess you're right. You got there the wrong way. That
doesn't prove it. Last clip, kid looking for his goggles. Let's leave on a really uplifting note. Cute kid. I need my goggles.
I need my goggles. Tell Deanna, what do you need? I need my goggles. Where are they? Somewhere.
He's got a one-track mind. He needs the goggles.
Do like this. Just open your hand and do that.
He moves the goggles.
What do you need? What are you looking for?
To touch his forehead.
Where are they? You don't know where your goggles are? I thought you had them. What? Oh.
And then he realizes, cute kid looking for his goggles.
Yep.
And he found them. They're on his head.
The whole time.
Well, that's another Fleccas Talks in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. ShopFleccas.com for the best merch in the game. GoldRiverCo.com for the best tea in the game. Public Square, links in the description for both those sponsors. Make sure you get the Public Square app and download it. It goes a long way. It helps you create the community and culture you wish you had. It's the foundation. That's what we need. So companies like those are what does it. Thank you guys for supporting us. So make sure you support them. And join us in Bonus Land. If you like the show, you're watching all the way to the end, you must like the show at least a little bit. For $2 a month, you get an extra hour of the show. So if you join Bonus Land, we have a bunch of topics we're going to cover. Very good, funny stuff. Make sure you guys join Bonus Land, patreon.com/Fleccas, or YouTube join. Links are in the description. Support the show. It goes a long way. Bonus Land is fun.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for
watching.
watching.
We have a good bonus land today, too, actually.
We have a great bonus land today. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you at the next one.